Hey guys, it's Ashley and I'm back with another video. Like I mentioned in the description box of my last video, I will be talking about stress relief today, but I felt like I should do it while also engaging in something that's really, relaxing for me to do, which is cooking and baking. Today, specifically baking. So I'll be making tahini cookie bars. I've never made them before, but I found it in a recipe on Instagram. There's this woman named Emily Ryu, and I think that's how you say her last name, by the way. She comes up with these really healthy recipes, and they looked pretty good to me. So she has this like $6 or $7 book that you can buy online, and it's got all these recipes in it. They're really good. I've already made 2 of them, so this is the 3rd one. So just so you know, tahini cookie bars. Tahini is a paste made from ground sesame seeds. It's versatile, can be used in baking, and it's packed with essential vitamins and minerals. So fun fact of the day, we're using good ingredients in this cookie bar. Just for the sake of time, I have my wet ingredients here, which is the tahini, eggs, I think I put coconut oil and vanilla extract, that's the last one. And then here I have coconut flour, almond flour, coconut sugar, baking soda, and probably just a pinch of Himalayan pink salt, because I think that was on here as the last one. So just for time's sake, I went ahead and prepped it so that this isn't like a 30-minute video. But let's get to it. So I'm just whisking the ingredients right now before I combine them. And I'm going to talk about some stress relief. So I know that sometimes when we talk about stress relief and how to relax and how to not be so uptight all the time, we say the same things that we always say. You should take which I will admit I did say in my last video, but we say, take deep breaths, go for a walk, exercise, talk it out. All very great things to do. But I feel like sometimes we need things that are a little bit more than just the basic relaxation. So I thought of some things that I like to do, one of them being cooking and baking, but a few other things that might be helpful for you. Just so you know, I'm now putting the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. I think it helps, at least from what I've seen. It keeps the stuff that you're mixing together from getting really clumpy and hard to mix if you put in the dry ingredients little by little. And it also makes the batter, I guess you could call it, a little bit smoother. So the more you know. But relaxation. So I started thinking about things that I've seen a lot of people do, but also things that I've started to experiment with and really try to see if they're relaxing for me. So one of those is cooking and baking, like I've said like 3 times already, because I love to cook and bake. I love food and to eat, and what better way than to sort of experiment with things, but also get really great payoff if it works. So something that's a little bit less risky for relaxation is really getting into aromatherapy. I know that some people like experiment with smell combinations and the science behind why some smells are more relaxing than others. But if you're just sort of like starting out and you just want to see if it works for you, just find something that smells really good, something that makes you feel really good. One of those things that I like to use is candles from Bath and Body Works, which one of them right here, Fiji White Sands. This was burning all day yesterday, and it just made me feel like I was on the beach somewhere, and it was amazing. So if you like, I guess, like aromatherapy and things that smell good and things that are relaxing by tapping into the smell factor, that's definitely something you can look into. Another thing that's really good that I like to use is a diffuser. So I'm not exactly sure when I got one, but I think I just sort of went to Target and I was like, let me see how much a diffuser is. I've heard people really like diffusers. I've heard that you're relaxing, whatever. So I went and I got one, and I got some essential oils. Again, just smells that I thought that I would like. And I got things like sweet orange and lavender, because I know lavender can help with sleep, and I tend to stay up pretty late. A lot of times by choice, sometimes not by choice. So lavender can be pretty relaxing. I just like fruity scents, and peppermint. I really like peppermint. I'm not sure why, but that's one of my favorites too. So whenever I get really stressed out, or I'm just really having a bad day, I'll put some of the essential oils with water in my diffuser based on like the ratio it's supposed to go in at. And I just let that thing go. Like, I turn it on, and it makes my room just a paradise. I can't even really explain it. It's just one of those things where it's amazing how just changing the smell of your environment can really boost your mood or put you in a better place in a mental space. A great example right now, my crock pot is over here cooking dinner, and it smells fantastic, and it makes me feel like I'm at home with my mom, because it's a dish that she would make a lot for me and my sister. So another thing that I think is really important, along with just sort of paying attention to what your body wants and how it responds to things, is the stress and the tension that we carry in our bodies. Let's take a break here. I've mixed my ingredients, and now I'm going to fold in some milk chocolate chips. The recipe calls for dark chocolate, but like I just said, you have to know what you like and what your body responds to and what makes you happy. And milk chocolate is what makes me happy. So I use milk chocolate instead of dark chocolate. But back to the relaxation. We carry a lot of tension, specifically in our shoulders and in like our jaw, when we're just really like clenching down and intensely thinking about something or looking at something. And even in our foreheads, I find, like when I have headaches, it's just like the pressure is right here in the front of my forehead. It's just radiating here. So if you ever find that you're in a place where you can't seem to get away or break away from wherever you are, to just take a moment to calm down, try releasing the stress that you're carrying in your body. So if you just kind of like bring your shoulders up and roll them back and just let them come down naturally, you'll find that if you were sitting down, you're probably sitting there like this, or hunched forward, and you were carrying a lot of tension in your shoulders, which after a while, being tense like that, you tend to get pretty tired. Especially if you sit at a desk and you work at a desk all day, or if you're in school, or whatever it is you're doing. If you're sitting down, it's very easy to sort of lean forward and get that rounded back, and get so engrossed in what you're doing that you don't realize that you've now turned your body into like a ball of nerves sitting there. And eventually you start to feel it, like especially when you go to bed at night and you're just like, I can't get comfortable. Well, it's probably because you were sitting like a ball of rubber bands all day. It's really fun to see a recipe come together that you've never done before, because I have no idea if this is right or not. I don't know if this looks right or not, but hey, I'm going with it. It's all about experimenting, trying new things out and seeing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Now, next thing we can try in relaxation is, what did I write down? Because I have to remember these things. Doing two things at once can be hard to keep track of. But one thing that I know a lot of pages recently that I've looked into, just do something nice for yourself. If you love to do your hair, like just go in there and like do your hair up. You don't have to be, especially since I think we're not technically still in quarantine, but since we're all proceeding with caution, we're not out as much. So just go into like the bathroom and just do your hair up. Guys, shape up your beard. Try to give yourself a haircut if you're willing to try that. Whatever makes you feel good and look good, if that's what you put emphasis on in your life, you'll go ahead and do it. Spend time doing it. It doesn't matter if people think, what are you getting dressed up for? You're not going anywhere. Well, I'm not getting dressed up for anybody else. I'm getting dressed up so that I can look at myself in the mirror and say, you know what? I look good, even if I'm just going to the couch. I'm going to look good on the couch. So that's another one you can do. And even just taking a second to just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, you have been taking on so much lately, and you're doing it with poise and grace. And I commend you for that. I mean, talking to yourself, but I also do commend you for that. But, just give yourself some credit for everything that you deal with on a daily basis. Give yourself some credit for making it day to day when you just felt like staying in bed or you just didn't think you could go on. Give yourself that pat on the back every once in a while. Just because you don't have to do something spectacular to be proud of yourself in whatever you've accomplished. You can be proud of yourself for, like I said, getting up and doing your hair really, really well, or trying something new like cutting your own hair. Now, I do say proceed with caution because sometimes it doesn't go right and you have to wait for hair to grow back, but that's okay because it does grow back. Just if it makes you feel good and it's good for you, then go ahead and do it. Make that cheat day meal. Make some cookie bars. Do whatever it is that makes you happy for that moment, because you do deserve it. Now, since we're talking about stuff that we can do for ourselves, another thing that sort of combines like aromatherapy and taking care of yourself is doing a body scrub. If you go into like Bath and Body Works or pretty much any store that sells fragrance anything, you can find a body scrub, you can find a hand scrub. They have lip scrubs if like your lips get really dry and they're all crackly and you need to sort of get some moisture back in them. You can go get one of those scrubs and you would be surprised how relaxing and amazing it is to just take a couple minutes to like rub your hands together with a sea salt scrub, rinse it off, and be like, wow, my hands are so soft. That is just an unmatched feeling. Time for the moment of truth. Here we go. Whoa! Check it. Oh. Guys, I think it's safe to say it worked.